let me resume the recording with your permission. Our topic for today is on the brain, the gross features of the brain. The gross anatomy of the brain and the spinal cord. There. Wait. Okay. Alright. Parang ayaw niya ma-share na. Just wait. Okay. Just like my lecture on the uh, organization of the nervous system, I'll be posting this and even the recording thereafter. But there is no reason not to understand it because I will post. Okay. Can you hear me clearly? You can?
Yes po, Doc.
Yes, thank you. All right. At the end of this lecture, you, the learners, will be able to identify the gross features of the brain and the spinal cord. So somehow this is a continuation of my lecture last week. And these are the specifics of the brain and the spinal cord. And later on, you'll be able to explain common clinical manifestations or even radiologic findings using the principles learned. So this is the brain. Okay? So somehow I have mentioned this during my last lecture. So tingnan natin. What is one? Ano kaya to? Ano yung one? Kung merong may alam. Anong gyrus kaya yan? Ha? Oblique, tapos tatama. What gyrus is that? Anyone? You can put it on the chat box. Or if not, you can unmute your microphone.
Precentral gyrus po din.
Ano?
Precentral gyrus po.
I think that is not the precentral gyrus. Medyo mas convoluted lang tong brain na to. Ano kaya? Malapit na. You have the right thought. Very good. Sige. Saan bumangga na diretso, di ba? Oblique. Tapos diretso. Kaya lang part 2 nung oblique. Nasa gitna. Ano kaya siya? These are the frontal gyri. And this is the one in the middle. What do you call this? Ko-connect nyo lang. Middle, frontal, gyrus. Yung number 1. Diba? Ano kaya yung number 2? Ayan, may guide na yung sinabi ni Miss Faye. O, ano yung number 2?
Central gyrus.
Ito. Kanina sabi mo pre-central to. Ito yung pre-central. Ano to? Pre-central gyrus? Ano tong isa?
Central gyrus. Central.
Ang pre-central ito. Remember, oblique, tatama sa vertical. Yun yung pre-central. Sa tabi ng pre-central, ano yung kasunod? Ang central sulcus, yung space na nasa gitna. O, ano na to? Pre-central? This is the central sulcus. Ano kaya ito?
Postcentral po, Doc. Postcentral gyrus.
Postcentral gyrus. Tama. Kaya lang, ganito. This brain is very unique kasi ang tama talaga, kasi dalawa yung vertical. Ideally, ito yung middle frontal gyrus, ito yung precentral gyrus, yung 2. Kaya tama yung sumagot na precentral. Kasi yung 3, yung central sulcus. Yung 4, ano kaya? Yung 4, ito yung postcentral. Bakit? Kasi color-coded yung brain. Ano yung coding nung yung colors nung brain? It represents what? The blank of the brain. Yung kulay. Ano to?
Lobe po.
The lobes of the brain. Very good. So this is the frontal lobe. Ito, parietal lobe. Kaya may guide na kayo as to the color na ang post-central gyrus kaparte ng parietal lobe. Kaya ito yung central sulcus. Okay? Kaya oblique, ito yung tatamaan na vertical gyrus. Kaya parang nagkaroon ng extra. Okay? But this is just a representation. Okay. Ano kaya yung 6? Number 6. It's a space. What do you call that?
Lateral sulcus.
Very good. Lateral sulcus, lateral sylvian fissure, sylvian fissure. Kasi bakit? Mas mahaba. 'Di ba? Pag sulcus, mas maigsi. Okay, what is 7? If you are asked as to the lobe, 7. O kaya yan? Very good. Occipital lobe. Eh, yung 8, yung buo. Kung yung buo, what? Temporal lobe. Very good. Pero if you are asked, what is this particular gyrus? Kung yung number 8. See the play? Identify bracketed lobe. Pwede yun. Pero ito, identify pointed gyrus. Ano kaya ito?
Temporal gyrus.
Anong temporal? Very good. Sabi mo temporal kasi nasa temporal lobe. Katulad ng frontal, ano to? Nasa gitna. Yes, middle temporal gyrus. Very good. Very good. Okay. Now, what is this structure? Number 9. You have to be able to generally identify. Number 9. Wow. Very good, ah. Part of the midbrain, pero pag be specific, ano yan? Cerebellum. Very good. Number 10. What is number 10? Pons. Number 11. Ano kaya 11? Kaduktong lang sa ibaba ng pons, medala. Eh yung number 12. Ano kaya number 12? Very good. Spinal cord. Yan. It's just to wake you up and connect to my last lecture. Okay. Kasi minsan ang neuroanatomy is just like biochem. No, at the first part you're awake and in the middle you tend to sleep. 'Di ba? Hindi naman kayo nag-iisa. You know, biochem before, it was my best sedative. 'Di ba? Una, nakaupo ka pa dun sa classroom, tapos maya-maya parang napupunta ka na dun sa classmate mo na katabi mo, ganun. Okay. So these are the answers. Now, if you look at the brain in general, you see what? Folds, convolutions. 'Di ba? Sabi nila some would say if you are overly using, alam mo daw, you actually know during the autopsy if the brain was well used or not. If it's highly convoluted, you have used it a lot. If it's not, then if it's not so used, then the convolutions are the usual number of convolutions or the folds. These folds are known as gyrus as singular and gyri as plural. But take note, inside the brain, you see dark areas and you see lighter areas. The darker areas are known as, of course, in general, basic knowledge, this is the gray matter. And the lighter areas are known as the white matter. You also call the gray matter part in the cerebrum your cerebral cortex. Now, using spaces or grooves, When the grooves are shallow, you call them sulcus when it's singular and sulci when it's plural. But when they are deeper and lengthy, mas mahaba, you call them fissure. So, such that the fissures are deeper than the sulcus. Okay. Now, you will have a lecture on the development of the brain. I'm sure did you have the lecture on the development of the brain? Tapos na? Yes. And this is the summary of that particular lecture, that the brain developed from the neural tube, and then it became 3 primary brain vesicles, your prosencephalon, your mesencephalon, and your rhombencephalon. The prosencephalon is also called your forebrain, the mesencephalon, your midbrain, and your hindbrain, your rhombencephalon. Now, on the week 5 of the development, this primary brain vesicles would divide into what? Your secondary brain vesicles. So if you're asked, the telencephalon and the diencephalon would come from the prosencephalon or the forebrain. Your mesencephalon would just stay, no? It would not divide into 2 secondary brain vesicles. But your rhombencephalon would develop 2 secondary brain vesicles, your metencephalon and your myelencephalon. And these are the adult brain structures that would arise from these secondary brain vesicles. It is not very rare that in the licensure exam and in the final exam, sometimes the name of the adult brain structures are used interchangeably with the secondary brain vesicles or even the primary brain vesicles. Okay. Now, you'll have a lecture after me on the spaces or the ventricular system. It will be lectured by Dr. Hershey de Guzman. And you see that these are spaces or canals where the cerebrospinal fluid would flow. So, you see the lateral ventricle within the cerebrum, within the brain, and within the midbrain, you see the cerebral aqueduct. But take note, from the diencephalon, how would you know kung galing siya sa diencephalon? Lahat ng may thalamus na word, thalamus, hypothalamus, epithalamus, subthalamus, it would all come from the diencephalon if the question is a secondary brain vesicle. And the space within that area is your third ventricle. But in the midbrain, the space there is your cerebral aqueduct or aqueduct of Sylvius, or cerebral aqueduct of Sylvius. But in the rhombencephalon, whether it be the meten or the myelin, the space there is your fourth ventricle. And of course, you all know that within the spinal cord, there's the one in the center and that's the central canal of the spinal cord, lined by your ependymal cells. So pag tinanong, what supporting cells line the central canal of the spinal cord, then that would be the ependymal cells. Okay, I have shown you quite a number of slides with this, that the brain is divided into 2 hemispheres, your right and left. And that is very important. Looking at the brain on top, this is the top view of the brain, the superior portion. If you look at it, you have a right and the left cerebral hemisphere. And of course, you see a very deep space in between them, that the one that divides it into your right and left, that is your intercerebral hemisphere. It's also called your longitudinal fissure. Okay. See, kanina, the dorsolateral surface is divided into lobes. Now, what can guide you as to the division of the brain into lobes? You know, it would depend on the skull bone covering that area of the brain. That's why Your frontal bone covers the frontal lobe. Your parietal bone covers the parietal lobe. Your occipital bone covers the occipital lobe, and that of the temporal bone would cover the temporal lobe. So that's an easy guide. But it is also divided. How would you know? I actually mentioned this. How would you know that you are at the area of the frontal lobe? The frontal lobe is composed of the gyri from the most rostral portion of the brain up to the central sulcus of Rolando, or your Rolandic sulcus or your central sulcus. So ito lahat frontal lobe. So hanggang sa precentral gyrus, that's the frontal lobe. And of course, that is the area also above the lateral sylvian fissure. So yun yung cut-off. After the central sulcus of Rolando and above the lateral sylvian fissure. Okay. And hanggang, you don't see this sulcus very well when you are looking at the dorsolateral part of the brain. Pero mamaya, mas makikita nyo. From the central sulcus to the parieto-occipital sulcus and above the lateral sulcus, that's your parietal lobe. After your parieto-occipital sulcus, that's the occipital lobe, and that is the most rostral portion of the brain. And the most rostral lobe, pinakadulo. Most caudal, rather. Okay, rostral yung harap. Yung superior, mas malapit sa head bar. Now, the temporal lobe is that lobe below the lateral sulcus or the lateral sylvian fissure. Okay? So, earlier we described which one is the midbrain, which one is the brainstem. Diba? We checked on that. The brainstem and the bulbar region of the brain. We had that defined. Ang difference ng brainstem sa bulbar region of the brain, hindi kasama ang cerebellum. Diba? So, sa brainstem, kasama lahat. Kasama yung cerebellum. Pag bulbar region of the brain, you remove the cerebellum, and that would be the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla oblongata. Syempre, hindi kasama yung spinal cord. Okay? I hope you are able to retain that knowledge. Look at this. This is the medial side, mediolateral portion of the brain. Ito. See this? While it was difficult to see the parieto-occipital sulcus on the dorsolateral surface of the brain, it would be quite easy. So if you are asked to identify the parieto-occipital sulcus, you look for it on the medial surface of the brain. And this is the parieto-occipital sulcus. That's why you know that this is the occipital lobe. Okay? And the occipital lobe is above the cerebellum. Okay? Now, if you cut the brain, later, you get that experience. How would you know if you have cut it correctly? Paano nga ba? You have to be able to expose this. This is your corpus callosum. And you will be able to expose the spaces, yung lateral ventricle, third ventricle, very nicely. So alam nyo, pantay yung pagkahati nyo. Okay? So, that would be looking at it. So, whether it be dorsolateral surface or the top, you should be able to say that this is the frontal lobe, this is the parietal lobe, and this is the occipital lobe. Okay? Now, I mentioned this before, and you will only be able to see it on top of the corpus callosum. That's another lobe. That is your limbic lobe. Okay. Now, I showed this before. See this? That you see the cranial nerves on the inferior view of the brain. Ito yun. Oh, this is a bigger picture. Lobes. bracketed lobe. 'Di ba? Yan, frontal lobe. How did I know? Oblique, oblique, oblique. Tatama sa vertical. This is your precentral gyrus. This is your central sulcus. Look at the central sulcus. Bali-bali ko yung central sulcus. So it's not always straight because this brain is highly convoluted. And then this is the post-central. So pag after ng central sulcus, parietal lobe na siya. Ito yung parieto-occipital sulcus. So ito buo is your parietal lobe. This is your lateral sylvian fissure. This is temporal lobe. And this is occipital lobe. Okay? Now, look at this. This is a common question in the licensure. I asked you earlier, after the lateral sylvian fissure, identify bracketed lobe, temporal lobe. Yes. But it was also pointed on this particular area. E nasa gitna, middle temporal gyrus, di ba? Just like their frontal gyrus, gyri, it runs obliquely, so it's named from the top to the bottom. So superior, middle, and temporal, and inferior. Just like your temporal gyrus, then it would be named superior, middle, and inferior. But take note, the upturn, yan yung laging description. The upturn of the middle temporal gyrus, posteriorly, this is the upturn. You call that gyrus your angular gyrus. And this will have a significance later. Okay? Especially regarding language and auditory. Now, look at the upturn of the superior temporal gyrus. Diba? Upturn, kumulot siya pataas. That is your supramarginal gyrus. So if you look at this, ito, no? Let's use this. Middle temporal, nag-upturn. So temporarily, because this is highly convoluted, nandito yung area ng angular gyrus. Paano yung upturn ng superior temporal? Yun. Ito yung upturn. This is the area of your supramarginal gyrus. So this may be ideal, but there are times, just like this one, you don't see it as ideal. So dapat, alam mo, ito middle temporal, nag-upturn, angular. Ito superior temporal, dapat isang diretso siya, nag-upturn. O then you call it your supramarginal gyrus. Okay? I hope that is clear. Do you have any questions? And I hope you can hear me clearly. Narinig naman, ano? Okay? Sige. Now, next is, when you look at the medial surface, I said earlier, this is the corpus callosum. And that's the very reason why you really know if you have cut the brain properly. Because you will be able to expose this. This is the corpus callosum. The lobe above it, if you are asked to identify bracketed lobe. This is your what? Limbic lobe. But if you are asked, identify what you call that gyrus above, hindi loba, what you call that gyrus above the corpus callosum or superior to the corpus callosum, the answer is your cingulate gyrus. Okay? Cingulate, pero kung lobe, limbic. And then you also know that the brain was cut correctly if you see these spaces, which will be discussed later by Dr. Hershey. Okay, this is your the ventricular system, the entirety of the ventricular system. So if a patient is hydrocephalic, you know, you have seen this on TV, that those calling for help kasi lumaki yung ulo, no? Yung iba, akala pa sila ay alien. No. Why? Because there's a collection of the cerebrospinal fluid. And somehow, later on, Dr. Hershey will show you that this ventricular system can be obstructed and it can lead to hydrocephalus na magko-collect yung CSF. And it will lead to the patient accumulating cerebrospinal fluid. Okay? Yan. This is just to give you an overview, this is the lateral ventricle. The third ventricle is very much related, as you saw earlier in the development of the brain, to the thalamus. This is the thalamus. Okay? Kaya alam mo na ito yung third ventricle. Okay. Now, this is the fourth ventricle, very much related to the rhombencephalon, which are your, what? Pons, medulla. Diba? So, alam mo, yung space na yan, malapit sa pons, malapit sa medulla. That is your fourth ventricle. Paano yung cerebral aqueduct of Sylvius or cerebral aqueduct? It connects the third and the fourth. So, ito yon. This is the third ventricle. This is the fourth. The one connecting, kapag nag-insert or nag-point dyan, that is your cerebral aqueduct or aqueduct of Sylvius. I already mentioned this before. This is the ventral surface of the brain. Okay? Yung iba, the inferior portion. Okay? Ventral surface, kung iisipin mo, ito yung anterior. Kaya yung likod, do not confuse yourselves, dorsolateral surface of the brain. Kaya dorso kasi, yung kaninang naka-side view, that is the posterior surface of the brain. Kaya posterolateral surface. Ito yung anterior part. Okay? And this is where you can see most of the nuclei of the cranial nerves numbered accordingly. So, ito yung 1 hanggang dito sa 12. Okay? Now, please take note, but you will learn this when you are in the lecture of the cranial nerves. Halos lahat yan, yung nuclei niya, nandito. Except for cranial nerve 1, which is your olfactory nerve. The nuclei of the olfactory nerve is not here. You only have the olfactory bulb and the olfactory tract. Din, where is it located? The nucleus of the olfactory nerve is within your nose. Wala dito sa ventral view of the brain. So that is the exception. And most of the cranial nerve, you see it arising here in the anterior portion. There is only one nerve arising from the posterior portion. Hindi po ito dumi. This is your trigeminal nerve. Itong manipis na to, ganyan din sa actual brain. Ito, parang hairline lang siya. That is your trochlear nerve or your cranial nerve 4. It is the only nerve arising from the posterior portion of the brain. Para siyang strand, no? There. But it is actually your trochlear nerve. Okay, I hope you can remember this because I will talk largely of this during my lecture on the basal nuclei. I mentioned before, diba, what is a ganglia? A ganglia is a collection of cell bodies outside the central nervous system. And when you say central nervous system, it is composed of what? Pag CNS, ano siya? Composed of CNS. Ano? The central nervous system is composed of, very good, the brain and the spinal cord. Diba? Bakit din? Basal ganglia yung pangalan, yung basal nuclei is within the brain. I mentioned during my first lecture that is actually a misnomer. So, ang daming books in anatomy and neuroanatomy that will have to be corrected. They should have been called basal nuclei. That's why, if you look at the recent books in anatomy, it's no longer called basal ganglia system. It is called basal nuclei system. Okay. Look at this cut, and this is the transverse section. So, ang mangyayari, Let me just go back a little, ha? Okay. Pag kinat mo ito, sorry. Pag kinat mo to, no? Kinat mo yan, kinat mo pa yan sa kalahati. Hindi lang medial, no? Hindi lang in between the hemisphere, you will cut it. Okay. Pero kinat mo pa, ito yung medial, ganyan. Kinat mo pa dito. Kinat mo pa in between. Ay, ganito pala yung pagka-slice. Sagittal, transverse rather, di ba? Top to bottom. Kinalahati mo ito. Okay? You will be able to expose the transverse section of the brain. Okay? Ito yon. Yan. Okay. So, kung ito yung picture, ito, hinati mo pa siya. Okay, hinati mo siya from top, this one, hinati mo ito from top to bottom para ma-picture ninyo. You will be able to expose this. And if you look at this, there are dark areas and there are light areas. So alam nyo na, the dark areas are gray matter. The light areas are white matter. And you call the dark areas your cerebral cortex. Okay. Now, let us explore the dark areas. But before that, let me identify to you the spaces or the ventricles in this particular cut. Look, this is your lateral ventricle. But this is, kasi ganito nga yung cut. This is your anterior horn. This is your posterior horn of your lateral ventricle. So nahati si lateral ventricle sa dalawa. If you look at the transverse section of the brain. Okay. Where is the third ventricle? Di ba sabi ko naman sa inyo, hanapin nyo yung thalamus. Okay. And in this cut section, this is the thalamus. Okay. What's very near the thalamus is actually your third ventricle. But will you really be able to appreciate your third ventricle here? Usually in this view, hindi masyado. But you can appreciate, okay, your cerebral aqueduct. Ito yung third ventricle, oh. Ito yung thalamus. Nasa superior portion, ito lang. This is your third ventricle. And then, di ba, what connects? And this is your fourth ventricle. So, dito na. Okay? So, what would connect them in between is your aqueduct. So, hindi masyado makikita yung aqueduct of Sylvius in this particular view. Okay. Now, look at the darker areas. And please listen to this. What makes up the basal nuclei I mentioned before is your CPG, your caudate nucleus, your putamen, and your globus pallidus. CPG, the basal nuclei. Okay, look at this. This is the anterior horn of your lateral ventricle. Beside it is the head of the caudate nucleus. So pag may head, may body, meron ding tail. Okay. So this is the head of the caudate nucleus. So ito yung anterior horn of the lateral ventricle. Beside it is your caudate nucleus. It will be difficult for you to appreciate the CPG in another section of the brain. You will really be able to appreciate it, most of it, on the transverse section of the brain. So C, kulang ngayon ng P. Diba? Look at this. This is the thalamus. Lateral to the thalamus is your globus pallidus. Later on, you would realize that the globus pallidus is subdivided into your globus pallidus externa and globus pallidus interna. But this is not the view for it. Okay. So, thalamus, beside it, lateral to it, Okay, immediately lateral to it is your globus pallidus. Lateral to your globus pallidus is that big amount of gray matter, and that is your putamen. Okay. Then, we identify the head of the caudate. Where are we to appreciate the tail of the caudate nucleus? Hindi yan dumi later. Itong parang dot na ito, na malapit sa posterior horn of the lateral ventricle, itong dark na to. Yan, parang dot. That is the tail of the caudate nucleus. Okay. But in this view, and very important, is this one. This area of white matter. Itong parang, ano ba tawag doon? Hindi frisbee eh. Parang boomerang, no? Or para siyang greater than or less than sign, ito. Itong white area na ito. Look, lateral to the head of the caudate nucleus, sa tabi niya, is a space, is an area of white matter. This is the anterior limb of the internal capsule. Diba? Yan, yung puti na yan. Sa pag tinusok yung puti, anterior limb of the internal capsule. Lateral to the thalamus, the area of white matter, lateral to the thalamus, seen on the transverse section of the brain. This is the posterior limb of the internal capsule. Din, ang dami-dami naman. Why do we need to remember this? Because there are a lot of pathways that will pass through the anterior limb of the internal capsule, the posterior limb of the internal capsule. Minsan, yun lang yung distinguishing nila. Na dadaan yung isa sa anterior limb, dadaan yung isa sa posterior limb. That's why you need to know. Kesa imagine kayo na imagine, at least alam nyo, ay, dun pala yun, no? Yung sa area. Paano nag-uusap yung impulses from the caudate nucleus to the putamen? Which is what will happen in the basal nuclei system. Direct and indirect pathway. Eh, look at the proximity. So, definitely there are nerve fibers that connects these two. Because these are gray matter, these are collections, these are nuclei. So, they're collections of cell bodies. So, there must be nerve fibers connecting them. Do you have any questions? So, ulitin ko yung cortex, yung gray matter na yan, that's the cortex. So, pag sinabing cortical tissue, alam nyo na kung ano yun. Okay? So, I mentioned this partly when we were discussing. How about the functional areas of the brain? And they have been numbered by Brodmann because he was the first one who mapped the areas, which I mentioned. No? Just to mention a few, which I already mentioned during my first lecture, this is your, ayan yung central sulcus. Ito yung precentral gyrus. When you are asked, what is the Brodmann area of this? That's Brodmann area 4, which is your primary motor cortex or primary motor area. So, ibig sabihin, it can be the origin of impulses. When it's mentioned, it's a motor tract. So most of the motor pathways would originate from the primary motor cortex, which is Brodmann area 4, which is located in the precentral gyrus. How about your sensory? Diba? Kinurot ka. O yan, simple. Kurutin mo yung sarili mo ngayon kung inaantok ka. O diba? Diba minsan pinapalo nyo pa sa pisngi, no? Diba para lang magising kayo? Oo, hindi naging effective ang exercise. Mas hinihila kayo nung katabi nyo, perhaps. Okay? Now, your primary sensory area, diba, naalala nyo, ascending pathways, descending. Ang lahat ng motor pathways, descending. Ang lahat ng sensory pathways, ascending. Hindi yun mag-iiba. Lahat tataas pag ascend. So nagsimula, kinurot kayo sa, say for example, sa hand. O ang ending nun sa primary sensory cortex, which is Brodmann area, 312, which is located at the postcentral gyrus. Kaya pag tinanong kayo, give function of the pinned area. Primary sensory cortex. Pwede na yon. Okay? For sensory, pwede na yon. Okay? Now, very important as well is Brodmann area 17. Okay. Imagine this. Yan. Imagine this as your lips. Ito. Ito yung calcarine fissure. Yang parang space dito, hindi naman yan mahaba. Oo nga. Pero malalim yan. Kaya ang tawag sa kanya fissure, hindi sulcus. Pero sa ibang books, calcarine sulcus pa din. But can we answer both? Yes. That should be accepted. Okay. And you call this your primary visual cortex. And the primary visual cortex is made up of the lips of the calcarine fissure. Parang, imagine niyo lips nyo. Pag sinara nyo, yung nasa gitna, yung calcarine fissure. Yung nasa taas, upper lip of the calcarine fissure. Nasa baba, lower lip. The whole is the primary visual cortex or the calcarine cortex. Yun. Mainly involved in vision. Okay. Now, I was telling you earlier, what is the significance? Yung upturn, yan. Ito, yung upturn ng superior temporal gyrus. The Wernicke, silent, baka spell nyo to na V. Diba? In German, W is pronounced as V. So, Wernicke's area is the area for comprehension in terms of language. So, that's Brodmann area 22. And this is actually the area that was affected when my father suffered from a stroke last November. Ito. So, temporoparietal lobe yung kanyang stroke. But quite unfortunate dito talaga. Right? So, he can speak, but understanding speech, no? Understanding his speech or what he is seeing is of great difficulty. So, kailangan paulit-ulit with therapy. Now, there is that area on your Brodmann area 44, 45. So, if you look at this is the inferior frontal gyrus. At the distal part of the inferior frontal gyrus above the lateral sulcus, that is your Brodmann area 44, 45. And this is your Broca's area. It's the motor speech area. So, I already made an example. Possibly, the comprehension is not affected. So, pag tinanong nyo siya and pinasulat nyo yung pangalan, nasusulat niya ng patient. Pero pag pinasalita nyo, yun yung stuttering yung speech. Diba? Pag Wernicke's, tinanong nyo, anong pangalan? Anong pangalan mo? Doon sa Makati. Doon sa gano'n. Iba-iba yung sagot. Okay? Nakakapagsalita siya. Sabihin, yung motor area not affected, but the comprehension is the one that's affected. Okay? Those are samples. Now, this is a summary of what I mentioned. Okay? Now, let us look at this case. Now, where can your knowledge simply of the gross anatomy of the brain help you when you are being asked as to a case? This is the normal side. This is the area that resulted from a stroke on MRI. Okay. How would you know what lobes or gyri were affected? So, dapat alam nyo yung ito. Diba? So, pag nirelate mo, nasan yan? Nandito. Diba? Nandito siya. Nandito siya. Alam nyo kung ano yan? It's an area. See? Frontoparietal yun. Di ba? Tingnan nyo ito, oh. Nasa area yan ng pre-central, central sulcus, tsaka post-central. Ito. Nandyan yung infar. So if you are given this case, what can be affected in the patient? Sige nga, after I discuss the functional area. Kasi ayan, no, dito siya. Frontoparietal yung area. Anyone?
Motor po.
Motor. Very good. Kasi because of the precentral gyrus effect, which is the primary motor cortex. Motor lang ba?
Sensory din.
Very good. Sensory din. Kasi post-central gyrus, which is your primary sensory cortex. So pag tinanong kayo, anong Brodmann areas kaya yung affected? No. Brodmann area 4. Brodmann area 3, 1, 2. Diba? Okay. So, upper extremities lang kaya? Or pati lower extremities? Depende. Dun sa medial view ng brain. Naalala nyo yung homunculus? Yung representation, di ba the lower limbs is represented on the medial surface of the brain. Yun, konti lang. Kung medial surface of the brain, yan. Now, I would want you to take a look at this. There is a uniqueness of the human brain na in the medial surface of the brain, magkikita po yung tip ni precentral gyrus at saka ni post-central gyrus. Look, this is the central sulcus. Tignan nyo yung precentral gyrus at saka yung post-central. Di ba parang nag-combine siya into one? If you are being asked to identify this is called the paracentral lobule. It's the one surrounding the central sulcus. So parang nag-unite si precentral sulcus, precentral gyrus rather, at saka si post-central gyrus into one paracentral lobule. That's why it would always happen that birang-bihira pag na-stroke in that area, na affected ang motor, affected din ang sensory. The big question na lang is what? Are the upper limbs more affected than the lower limbs? Diba? And what will help you now? What will help you as to the artery that's involved is actually the representation of the limbs in the homunculus. Diba? Yung lower limb, mas represented dito sa medial surface. Later on, in the lecture of Dr. Jesmos, you'd know what is the primary artery supplying the medial surface of the brain. Because there's also a primary artery supplying the dorsolateral surface of the brain. Okay? I hope we were able to integrate that in this case. Okay? So that's why your knowledge of the gross anatomy of the brain is very important. Okay? Kasi, baka magulat kayo, hala, binigyan kami ng MRI sa exam. Tapos na-overwhelmed na kayo, no? Even CT scan. But it's actually checking on how you relate this knowledge to this based on the cut. Okay? You know that you are on the top cut kasi hindi nyo nakikita yung mga CPG. Diba? You cannot see, right? Oh. Kaya alam nyo, medyo superficial pa. Nasa top pa yung cut. Okay? Do you have any questions on the gross anatomy of the brain? I'm actually done on the brain. Do you have any questions? If none, allow me to proceed to the spinal cord. Okay? This is the spinal cord. I mentioned that it will be easy for you to know. This is a cross section of the spinal cord. Yung nakita nyo kanina, yung part of the yung beginning ng spinal cord after the medulla. So you can always say that the spinal cord is a continuation of the medulla. That's correct. Okay? Depende kung nasang vertebra na kayo. Siyempre, kung nasa C1 vertebra na, hindi na talaga siya tawag na medulla. Ang tawag na sa kanya, spinal cord na. So you actually know that that part is already part of the spinal cord when you are already at the area of C1 vertebra. Di ba? Kasi may C1 spinal nerve na, di ba? Saan mag-e-exit? Hala, si dinilito na naman kami. Hindi, tinitingnan ko lang kung nare-relate yung previous knowledge. Kasi tatanungin nyo ng tatanungin. Above C1 vertebra. Saan mapuputol ang above? Sa C7. Walang C8 vertebra, ha? O, pag hindi nyo pa naman yan na-memorize. O, at least magamit nyo man lang sa quiz. Okay. Next. This is the spinal cord. Again, this is the cross section of the cord. And how do you know that which one is anterior, which one is posterior? This one, the sulcus. The anteromedian sulcus is deeper than the posteromedian sulcus. The ventromedian sulcus is deeper than the dorsomedian sulcus. So, pinapagpalit-palit ko lang yung nomenclature. Okay. Kaya alam mo, this is anterior, this is posterior. Okay. So, given that, this is a fresh cut. So, you see this lighter areas and you see this dark areas. Just like the brain. The dark areas are the gray matter. The light areas are the white matter of the spinal cord. And so gray matter, white matter. And these are the horns. The gray matter part in the cross section of the spinal cord, you call them the horns. Okay. And ito, you call them your funiculus or funiculi kung plural. Okay, let us name them. Kung horn to, di ba anterior ito? Di itong dalawa, anterior horn or ventral horn. Since posterior ito, these are the posterior horns or the dorsal horn. Minsan, at the level of T1 to L2 o guide, kung nasan ang sympathetic nervous system from T1 to L2, nandun din, may lateral horn. May maliit minsan na pakpak dito ng gray matter and that is your lateral horn. Okay, only in those areas. Now, how about the areas of white matter? I mentioned earlier, you call them funiculus. So, ito anterior, the anterior funiculus. Etabi, lateral funiculus. This one is dorsal funiculus or posterior funiculus. And you call them all together as funiculi. Okay. I hope that is clear. But in the cervical portion of the spinal cord, later, yung funiculus, yung dorsal funiculus or posterior funiculus, I will show you that later, was further subdivided into fasciculus. So, yung funiculus, dinivide pa into fasciculus. And it only happens in the dorsal funiculus or the posterior funiculus. Any questions? Kasi merong slides nito. So, pwede itong histo or since projection, papakita lang yan. Okay, so hindi to gray matter kasi gray. Kasi pag preserve na, nagiging gray. Okay? Ito yung area pa rin ng gray matter, ha? Kaya lang ito fresh na specimen pa. Ito is a preserved specimen, so please do not interchange it. This would still be the area of white matter, and this would still be the area of gray matter. I hope that is clear. Okay. Ayan. Now, I told you that the spinal nerve will originate from the dorsal nerve root, coming from the dorsal horn, and the ventral nerve root coming from the ventral horn. Okay? So ito rin, no, deeper. That's why this is, without even looking at the labels, you know that this is the anterior and this is the posterior. Because it's deeper than this one. Okay, now, you know, Rex said made it a little more challenging for us. Ano ba naman yan si Rex said? Dinivide pa, liit na lang ng gray matter. Dinivide pa niya into 10 laminae. Okay? So this laminae refers to a system of 10 layers of gray matter within the spinal cord. So in other words, the horns were divided into laminae. They're actually nuclei within the gray matter of the spinal cord or the horns of the spinal cord. Diba? Ang liit, tapos may nuclei. Why? Because remember, the area of gray matter are composed of cell bodies. And cell bodies within the central nervous system, they're called nuclei. Alright. Now, please take note. This is lamina 1 to lamina 6. By location, dorsal horn of the spinal cord. Ha? This is summarized already. Lamina 1 to lamina 6. Kaya yan, purple. Nasa dorsal horn ng spinal cord. The one that is intermediate or an area between the dorsal horn and the ventral horn, near the central canal of the spinal cord, that is your intermediate zone. Okay. Now, in the ventral horn, that's where you'd see lamina 7 here to lamina 8. There. Eh din, paano and lamina 7 to lamina 9? Eh din, paano na yung 10? Lamina 10. Yan, hindi kayo magkakamali dyan. Kasi lamina 10 is located at the central canal of the spinal cord. Okay. 1 to 6, dorsal horn. 7, intermediate zone. Diba? And then 8 and 9, what? Ventral horn. And 10, central canal. Pero kasi nag-enjoy pa siya masyado si Rexed. Diba? Kailangan alam niyo yung function. Mamaya na yon. But look, 1 is simply the marginal zone. 2 is substantia gelatinosa. Naalala nyo in physiology as to what is the main sensation in the substantia gelatinosa? Gelatin yan, pero masakit. So, pain. O, pag nakarinig kayo substantia gelatinosa, mas malamang pain. Yan. Okay? Next is, the nucleus proprius is at laminae 3 and 4. Okay, so yung area na yon, yung nucleus proprius nasa laminae 3 and 4. And, of course, your Clark's nucleus, yan, paborito siyang tanungin sa licensure. Yung Clark's nucleus, which is located at the intermediate zone. Okay, malapit siya doon. And then, one of the most important is laminae 9, which is the motor nuclei. Ibig sabihin, kapag motor yung pathway, tapos titigil sa spinal cord, and you are asked as to the specific lamina that it will pass through, or it will end, laminae 9 yun. Okay. Now, to summarize that is this one, is this table. Okay? Bakit lamin A9 kapag motor? Kasi from lamin A9 will originate the one that innervates the skeletal muscle. So kahit na anong section ng spinal cord, so cervical, thoracic, lumbar, i-divide nyo into several laminae, lagi. Okay? Kasi 'di ba yung brachial plexus, C5, C6, C7, C8, and T1. O, di yung laminae 9 niya, yun na nag-i-innervate sa muscles of the upper extremities. 'Di ba? Kung isipin nyo, doon mag-originate. Okay? So this is the summary. Now, that's the reason why pinapatandaan ko sa inyo yung substantia gelatinosa kasi yung pain, malalaman mo kung masakit or hindi pag dumaan K2. Nakakalungkot talaga pag number 2 ka lang, hindi ka number 1. Kaya masakit. O, di ba? Kung ano-ano ko na, sasabihin nyo, kung ano-ano na kinoconnect ni Dean, yung mga nuclei. Para lang maalala nyo. Okay? So, you have to consider this so that you will realize what sensation or saang part kaya anong lamini. Okay? But please take note that when you look at a pathway and sinabi, nagde-decossate, nagko-cross siya sa spinal cord na level, madalas nagde-decossate yon sa lamina 10 at the central canal of the spinal cord. Okay? So yung lamina 1, you are able to say, it's cold. It's a cold sensation. It's a hot sensation. Di ba malamig ngayon? Sobrang init ngayon. Yan. Lamina 1. Okay? Pag kiniliti kayo, saang lamina yon? 3. Di ba? For you to be able to process yung minsan may sinusulat, di ba? May yung katabi nyo, may sinusulat kung ang sagot ba ay A, B, or C. On your palm, that's lamina 3, proprioception. Okay? So I'm just giving you examples. Ha? Okay. Any questions on the Rexed laminae? My apologies if some of these parts, you will just have to memorize kung anong sensation. Diba? Kayo yung gagawa ng way para mas maalala nyo siya. That's why I'm trying to ignite your curiosity by saying na para mo malaman kung masakit or hindi. Dadaan sa substantia gelatinosa which is at lamina 2. Diba? Yun. Now, will you be able to say, just by looking, cross-section, like you're given a histologic picture, will you be able to say whether you are in the cervical part of the cord, thoracic part of the cord, or in the lumbar or the sacral? Will you be able to say, yes, by looking at the distinction or the amount of white matter and the amount of gray matter? Yon. How? Look. Ito representation. This is cervical. This is lumbar. This is thoracic. This is sacral. Teka muna, yung sinasabi ko kanina, look. 'Di ba? Meron parang wings yung dito sa may intermediate zone. Hindi yan simply area of white matter. Actually, area yan ng gray matter. 'Di ba dito baliktad kapag preserve na, ito na yung white matter, ito pa rin yung gray matter, yung mga horns. Okay, yung kanina, fresh specimen yun. This is the area of your lateral horn, seen at the area of T1 to L2. Yan, lateral horn yan. Ito, yon. Okay, ito, dito yung diagrammatic representation. Yan, yung parang merong ganun. Okay? There's an extension. That's your lateral horn. And you only see it in those areas involved in the sympathetic nervous system, which is from T1 to L2. Okay? So how would you know? Una, the one that are very big, actually, bulky, cervical at saka lumbar. Why? Anyone was a hunch? Bakit malalaki yung cervical area of the spinal cord at saka yung lumbar area of the spinal cord? Bakit kaya? Anyone? Ha? Why? Can you put it on the chat box or you can actually unmute? Isipin yung mabuti. Bakit kaya malaki? Yan, at saka lumbar. Ayan, no? Cervical at saka lumbar. Malaki siya. Anyone? Wag nyo i-search. Mas maalala nyo yan pag sumagot kayo. Ha? Support po. Pwede. What else? Bigyan ko kayo ng guide. Nasa ng brachial plexus at saka nasa ng lumbosacral plexus. Anong ginagawa ng dalawang plexus na yon? They what? More or less support, yes. Pero ano? Anong ini-innervate nung mga yon? Ha? Hala? Anong ini-innervate ng brachial plexus? For movement, yes. Upper and lower extremities. Those involved in movement, voluntary movement. Those highly innervating the skeletal muscles. That's why you have a cervical enlargement and a lumbar enlargement. Very good. Diba? Highly motor kasi. So, ang dami mong nerves na kailangan. Very good. The other is, how would you distinguish? So, alam nyo na, ano yung dalawang malaki? Cervical, lumbar. Paano nyo malaman kung thoracic? May lateral horn, definitely. And it has a bigger, look at this picture. It has a bigger white matter than the gray matter. Pag thoracic. Pag cervical and lumbar and sacral more or less, there is more or less an equal portion of you have a heavy gray matter area. Bakit? Di ba pag motor, pag movement, later you'd realize, lagi kailangan malaki yung anterior horn. Kasi pag motor track, dadaan sa anterior horn of the spinal cord. Kaya malalaki yung anterior horn ng cervical, lumbar, and sacral. Okay. Now, how would you distinguish the cervical? I told you earlier, look, yung FC at saka FG. The dorsal funiculus or the posterior funiculus, di ba the areas of white matter are called funiculus, singular. Funiculi, if it's plural. But look at the cervical, at the dorsal funiculus of the cervical part of the spinal cord. It is further divided into two. Yan, o, parang may space between this one and this one. Into what? The one which is immediately medial. O, ito ang lateral, ito ang medial. Immediately medial to the dorsal horn, that's your fasciculus cuneatus. Lateral, the most medial is your fasciculus gracilis near or lateral to the dorsomedian sulcus. So pag alam niyo yung parts ng anatomy, kaya niyong laruin kung medial siya or lateral. Okay? That's why I'm asking you not to memorize it, yung relationship niya. I am asking you to really identify the parts so that you can, in whatever way the lecturer or the book will describe it, you will be able to identify the structure or the relationship of the structure. Again, this is the dorsal horn of the cervical portion of the spinal cord. Medial to it, diba? The area of white matter, medial to it, is your fasciculus cuneatus. Medial to the fasciculus cuneatus is your fasciculus gracilis. Lateral to the dorso-median sulcus of the cervical part of the spinal cord is your fasciculus gracilis. Why is this important? Din, bakit naman din-divide pa? Funiculus na nga, fasciculus pa. You know why? Later on, when you are being asked, a sensation is applied on the upper extremities. Diba? Kinurot kayo sa ano ba yan? Sa arm, or kaya sa forearm. Saan kaya dadaan na part ng cord? Kinurot kayo nung isa sa thigh or sa leg. Will you be able, should you distinguish kung saan dadaan na part ng cord? Yes. Kasi paano siya papanik dun sa brain? Na ma-acknowledge niya kung saan nanggaling, nang mabilis. Diba, kinurot kayo sa baba, pero dapat ma-process siya ng brain. How would you know kung saan dadaan? Cuneus means upper extremities. Gracile is a term for lower extremities. So, ibig sabihin, a sensation was applied on the thigh, papanik niya sa brain, the pathway, when it goes up, and its process, sa thigh, dadaan siya sa fasciculus gracilis. Diba? Kinurot kayo sa forearm, sa hand. Saan siya dadaan? Sa fasciculus cuneatus. I hope you got that. Is that clear? Ha? Parang hindi kayo maka-oo. Ha? Diba? That's why you need to know which one is fasciculus cuneatus. If you know the name, you know, somehow if you are going to try to guess, masasagot ninyo. Diba kasama sa choices? Lalo na pag pinagsabay yung dalawa. Bawa kasama sa choices, fasciculus gracilis tsaka fasciculus cuneatus. Definitely tanggalin nyo na yung isa. Diba? Ibig sabihin, isa doon, don't consider. Okay? Look at where the sensation originated from. Diba? Minsan ang haba ng stem. Nagpa-pedicure kayo. Hindi natanggal yung ingrown, masakit. Di may ganun, o minsan may ganun sa exam. Okay. Masakit. Saan dadaan? Fasciculus cuneatus or fasciculus gracilis? Ingrown sa paa. Di ba? Sa big toe. Okay? So, alam nyo na. Pero kung sa thumb, di fasciculus cuneatus. Sa big toe, fasciculus gracilis. Okay? You have any questions? Now, this is to simply give you an idea. Look. Tingnan natin yung pangalan, ha? Remember, descending tracks, ascending. Descending track, motor. Ascending tracks, sensory. Look. Look at the descending tracks. Nasaan malapit? Malapit siya sa gray matter of the cord. Especially, di ba, later on, you'd see the connection to the anterior horn of the cord. But look at the ascending tracks. Spinocerebellar. Nasaan siya? Nasa white matter of the spinal cord. Dorsal funiculus, lateral funiculus, di ba? Dito sa baba, yung anterior funiculus. Mapapansin nyo, see? Pag anterior, mostly descending tracks. Okay? So more or less, you'd know the location as to where the tracks will pass through, instead of simply memorizing them. Okay? Again, let me ask you, do you have any questions? If none, I would like to stop sharing. Yan. and look at everyone. Alright, wait. I hope you learned something today, no? You did? Sana. Hindi na sana short term, okay? But I hope I made things easy for you before you actually you'll have discussions on the pathways. Kasi kailangan alam na alam nyo yung mga parts before the pathways. Kung hindi nyo na alam kung saan kayo. Kasi mangyayari magsa-start kayo from the beginning. Kaya basic knowledge muna, yung parts. We are not considering that everyone has a background in neuroanatomy. Okay? So if you have a background, well and good. But when we lecture, we are trying to do it in such a way that we consider everyone's basic knowledge. Alright? Sige. Let me just consider my setting. So with that, I think I have done my assignment.